Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and who's ready for another harebrained theory by yours truly? First of all, happy 4th of July if you live in the United States and celebrate your Independence Day today. Happy Canada Day on July 1st earlier this week to my fellow Canadians. And happy 3rd anniversary to Dead by Daylight, who just finished up the 3rd birthday event for the game, which ended on July 2nd. They gave us a couple of new items. We had the new firecracker and the new offering, the gruesome gâteau. If you have those in your inventory or if they are on your current blood web, you can still use those items, but they won't come out on any more blood webs because the event is over. So with the event, we had the birthday music in the lobby. We had the lobby decorated with strings of lights. There were decorations on the fire barrels with streamers. The hooks had streamers and balloons. The generators had streamers and balloons with the number 3 on them and the stylized 3 for the 3rd anniversary of the game. And one thing we didn't have was cosmetics, and we didn't have an in-game event. And that surprised a lot of people. It was kind of like a reskin of the Winter Solstice, except even with the Winter Solstice we got the frosty eyes for a couple of killers. We did get a couple of cosmetics, but it was just like a reskin of a firecracker and then a reskin of party streamers, just a different thing. I think some people were expecting more, and I am wondering if maybe they didn't have an in-game event because they have something else planned. It could be that they just have so many irons in the fire with what's going on right now with the roadmap that they didn't have time, or it could be that they have another event planned for later this summer and they don't want to bombard us with like back-to-back events. So let's talk about that. Is there an event coming this summer, and what could it be? So this is a theory I've been thinking about for a couple of weeks now. I literally drove home from Florida on the road thinking about this the entire day. And what I'm going to show you right now is a Twitter account connected to Netflix, specifically this NX account on Netflix, which is the account that deals with everything super science fiction, gaming, fantasy, anime, and beyond regarding Netflix. So they were at E3 and they put out this tweet that said, "We were at E3 today talking Netflix, video games, and how we're working with some amazing studios to make the worlds you all love a little bigger. If you're keen to know more, then we've got all the good stuff below." So then they talk about how they're developing Stranger Things game and a few other things. And then they end off with this tweet here that says, "In traditional E3 style, we're leaving you with some tasty teasers to chew on. Watch out for our upcoming projects with Behaviour, Ubisoft, Roblox, and Epic Games. Get hype and stay tuned to NX for more info on these real soon." Okay, so if you're not familiar with Netflix, their biggest show right now on the streaming service, hands down, is Stranger Things. It's no doubt about it. With Game of Thrones coming to an end, this is arguably the show that all of the nerds are flocking to. Stranger Things is Netflix's biggest show, and the sponsorships that are going on with this TV show is just mind-boggling. It shouldn't be called Stranger Things, it should be called Sponsored Things. They have the Upside Down Whopper. They have a giant promotion going on with Coca-Cola Corporation. They have a promotion going on with Baskin-Robbins ice cream store. And it doesn't just end with these huge companies. Like, video games are getting in on it too. Like, so Epic Games obviously makes Fortnite, and we have this crossover confirmed here, Stranger Things crossing over with Fortnite, where we have skins of the Demogorgon creature in Fortnite, as well as Sheriff Hopper, one of the protagonists in Stranger Things. So we can tick that one off the board as what that Epic Games things mean. Also, the Scoops Ahoy ice cream shop has been seen in the map of Fortnite, which is in Stranger Things. So that's what that crossover is. They put out this other tweet, one puzzle can change everything, connecting to Roblox, which mimics the tagline of one summer can change everything. So that also seems to be a Stranger Things tie-in. The Ubisoft one, I'm not so sure. I haven't really looked into that one. But what does the Behaviour tie-in mean? They tagged Behaviour and not Dead by Daylight. So that was interesting. But make no mistake, like I said, this NX channel is about fantasy, science fiction. So it's not like Behaviour is going to be going out there and making an Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt video game for Netflix. This has to do with fantasy. And by the way, Matthew Cote also replied to the tweet with this "oh hi" with this waving bear right back at Netflix, which that was kind of a head scratcher, because I thought, if this is under wraps, why would Matthew acknowledge it at all? So that made me think, is he just playing with the Dead by Daylight fans and I'm falling for it hook, line, and sinker, or what's going on here? But something is being worked on between Netflix and Behaviour. Is it Stranger Things? Maybe. Stranger Things is definitely the biggest property to get. Is it Stranger Things and Dead by Daylight, or something else with Behaviour? We don't know. So if we look at Behaviour Interactive's website, hang on a second. They're more than just Dead by Daylight. Obviously, they have their own intellectual properties of Death Garden and Dead by Daylight, but you can see here they're making a game for HBO, Game of Thrones Beyond the Wall, and like their history of games, they've made stuff for Ellen, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed. Like when you go through all of this, we have Scooby-Doo, Monsters Inc., Peanuts, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Kim Possible. Like they have worked, here's Ice Age, Rango. They've worked on a lot of stuff here. Like you look at all their partners here: Activision, HBO, Disney, Games Workshop, Microsoft, Warner Brothers, EA, Pixar, Paramount. So they have worked with a lot of people. So just because Netflix tagged Behaviour on this, it doesn't necessarily mean Dead by Daylight. Having said that, I do think there is a strong possibility of a Dead by Daylight tie-in with Stranger Things. Like I said, Stranger Things is the biggest thing Netflix has going on. That would be the thing that Behaviour would want to get for Dead by Daylight. But how would you do it? Stranger Things revolves around a lot of middle school children, and you can't really have children in Dead by Daylight because it goes against a lot of video game taboos where you can't have violence against children in the video game. It just isn't going to fly. You can't have Trapper running around chopping up a bunch of 7th graders or whatever grade these kids are in. I mean, like, even they're on record, Dead by Daylight is on record as saying that all of the characters that are survivors in the game are international aged adults, meaning that they're 21, which they kind of get away with it in the lore for Quentin. Lori, I'm not so sure, but their statement is like, yes, even though you think Quentin and Lori might be 17, all of our characters are at least 21, right? So if this is pointing to a Stranger Things chapter, maybe you could do that again to make a character like Steve Harrington, the high schooler, as your survivor. But more likely, I think it would probably be one of the adult characters from the show, either Sheriff Hopper or Joyce. And then obviously your Demogorgon would be your killer in the game here. Here's some models of how they made Demogorgon for the Stranger Things TV show. That's if it's a chapter. If it's a chapter, then we're looking into September for this to come out. And the shine will be right off of Netflix Stranger Things, because, you know, the way people binge television, they watch this show in a very short period of time and then they're on to the next thing. But make no mistake about it, Stranger Things does have a very, very big following. There are a lot of fan-made concepts. People have been asking for a Stranger Things chapter on the Reddit for a long time. I'll show you some of that after this. If it was a full chapter, what would the map be? Perhaps the Starcourt Mall. That seems to be the focus of Season 3 of Stranger Things, and a mall would be a really cool map to have in Dead by Daylight. Maybe similar to the way the game works, where you'd have multi-levels, and instead of the rooms in the game meat plant, it would be different shops in the mall. I would be down for that. I think that would be a great map. I would love it. But if it isn't a chapter, which would come out, as early as September, as I said, then what else could it be? It could be a crossover event, like we're seeing like these portals in Fortnite into the world of the Upside Down. What if the summer barbecue event revolves around Stranger Things, and all of our familiar maps are somehow transferred into the Upside Down for the summer barbecue event? One summer can change everything, even the maps in Dead by Daylight. Somebody showed me this picture of a new currency being introduced into Dead by Daylight called Dust. If you're familiar with Stranger Things at all, you know that the world of Upside Down is completely full of dust. What if they revamp all of the maps in Dead by Daylight into the Upside Down and there's dust lingering in it? Or we go into a portal and enter Upside Downs? I don't know. I'm really getting out there, I know. But this dust currency has me very curious. The only other thing I can think that the dust currency would be for is for the archive, which also makes sense. Like if you're in a library and you're dusting off the books, trying to get research of information. This archive is supposed to be about all the characters' backstory, so maybe when you go through those quests, you're earning dust. Not sure. But dust definitely means something in the world of Stranger Things. So maybe you're going to go into Upside Down Realms, collect dust, and then we'll unlock cosmetics, and it'll be an event, and it won't actually have any characters from Stranger Things in Dead by Daylight. Maybe they'll just unlock cosmetics. The shorty shorts from the mid-1980s can be on Dwight, etc. You can dress up all your characters like the kids from Stranger Things, and then you're not really having children in Dead by Daylight. I don't know. That's my thoughts. So, is Dead by Daylight going to have a Stranger Things related event? Is Dead by Daylight going to have a Stranger Things chapter in the future? Is it nothing to do with Stranger Things or Dead by Daylight at all? Two completely unrelated projects. Something else from Netflix, something else from Behaviour that has nothing to do with Dead by Daylight. We don't know. But I will tell you that there is a big fan following for Stranger Things, and I have seen several fan-made chapter ideas on the Reddit for a Stranger Things Dead by Daylight chapter. I'll show you a couple here. I don't think I'm going to go through all of it. What I'll probably do is give you the links in the description to look at the Reddit threads where these were created if you want to read more about them. Here, this one has Steve Harrington with his 3 fan-made perks: I'll Catch Up, Slay 'Em Dead, and Don't Wait Up. And the killer is called the Monster, which is the Demogorgon, and they have the Otherworldly perk, the Psychic Link perk, and the Hex the Spy perk. Again, these are just fan concepts, just ideas that people made, would have nothing to do with the actual chapter. Were Behaviour to create their own Dead by Daylight chapter. And then here's another one for the Demogorgon here. And they have their perks called as Blood in the Water, Feeding Frenzy, and Bump and Bite. So this is something the fans want. I've always said that if you get a license, it's got to be something that brings people to the yard. It's got to be a big one. It can't be just some fringe niche character that you particularly like that they would pay a license for. It's got to be something with a big following, and this definitely fits that bill. What do you think? What do you think? Does this tweet mean anything? There's no denying that Stranger Things is big, and Stranger Things is reaching out in all different directions for sponsorships. So, is Dead by Daylight going to be one of them? I kind of hope so. I really like Stranger Things. I think Stranger Things has a multi-generational appeal because of the way the show works. It's set in the 80s, which I dig, and it's got young people, which young people dig. So I think it's a good show. I personally don't think season 2 was as good as season 1, but it wasn't bad. And now I haven't seen season 3 yet, but it's out. Came out today, July 4th. Season 3 is out today. And I saw a couple of reviews that said it's the best season yet. So here's to bigger and better things for both Dead by Daylight and Stranger Things, perhaps in collaboration. That's all I've got for you today. My crazy theory, I'm probably wrong. Let's be real. So, but this has been weighing on me, and I wanted to make this video for a long time. I kept waiting and thinking, if there was going to be like a July 4th crossover, there'd be some kind of tease, right? And here we are on July 4th and still got nothing. So, I'm probably wrong. But gosh, I hope I'm right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Take care of each other out there in the fog. Unless you're the killer, then slay him dead. Like Steve Harrington says. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.